There is a moment, right before sleep, when your body finally stops pretending it's fine. You know the moment I mean. The lights are off, the house is quiet, and your mind, the one that held everything together all day, suddenly starts handing you the bill. Maybe it's a conversation you keep replaying. Maybe it's tomorrow, already crowding into tonight. Maybe it's nothing you can even name, just a heaviness sitting on your chest, like it moved in and never left. I want to tell you something before we go any further tonight. You are allowed to rest now. Not because everything is solved, not because the day went the way you hoped, but because rest was never something you had to earn. It was something God already gave you permission to take. Tonight, we're going to sit in His presence together. No performing, no fixing, just you and a peace that has been waiting for you all along. This is what tonight's prayer is for, a quiet evening prayer to help your body and your mind finally exhale, so peaceful sleep can find you the way it used to before the world got so loud. You can lay it down now. I want to ask you something, not a question you need to answer out loud, just one to sit with, the way you'd sit with a cup of coffee that's gone a little cold, but you keep holding it anyway because it's warm enough and your hands need something to do. What are you still carrying that was never yours to carry in the first place? Don't rush past that. I know it's tempting too. We've trained ourselves to answer questions fast, to fix things fast, to move on fast, but some questions aren't meant to be solved tonight. They're meant to be felt, turned over slowly, like a stone in your palm, until it stops feeling sharp. Think about your day, not the whole day, just the part that's still sitting in your chest right now. Maybe it was a look someone gave you that you can't stop replaying. Maybe it was a word you said that you wish you hadn't. Maybe it was nothing dramatic at all. Just the quiet weight of trying to hold a house together, a job together, a family together, a version of yourself together, one more day. You've been doing that for a long time, haven't you? There's a particular kind of tired that doesn't come from doing too little. It comes from doing everything for everyone, and forgetting somewhere along the way that you were allowed to need something too. You've become so good at being the strong one that people stopped asking if you were tired. They just assumed you'd handle it, and you did. You always do. But handling it and healing from it are two very different things. I want you to picture something with me for a moment. Not a memory, just an image. A man standing at the edge of a field at the end of the day. The work is done, or as done as it's going to get. The sun is low, throwing long shadows across the rows he walked that morning, and he's just standing there, not doing anything, not fixing anything, just standing, letting the day be finished. That's not laziness, that's wisdom. He knows something a lot of us have forgotten, that a day is supposed to end, not just stop, the way ours do, bleeding into the next thing and the next thing until we can't remember the last time we felt a full stop instead of a comma. When was the last time your day actually ended? Not when you turned off the lights, not when you closed your eyes. I mean when your mind actually let go of it, set it down and let it be finished. If you can't remember, that's all right. That's exactly why you're here tonight. Here's something worth sitting with, somewhere between everything you accomplished today and everything you didn't get to. There is a version of you that God is not disappointed in. Not the version who finished the list. Not the version who said the right thing every time. Just you, tired, imperfect, still trying, still here. That version is enough for Him tonight. It has always been enough. We spend so much of our lives measuring ourselves against a finish line that keeps moving. And somewhere in that chase, rest starts to feel like something we haven't earned yet, like it's waiting for us on the other side of some invisible achievement we never quite reach. But what if rest was never a reward? What if it was always a gift, sitting there the whole time? And the only thing standing between you and it was permission you were waiting for someone else to give you. I'm not going to ask you to figure all of that out tonight. I just want you to notice it. Notice the grip. Notice how tightly you've been holding the day. The way you might hold a hand you're afraid to let go of, even after it's time. It's time. Picture that field again. The man at the edge of it. He's not walking home in defeat. He's walking home in defeat because he trusted that tomorrow's field would still be there tomorrow. Tonight isn't asking anything more of him, and tonight isn't asking anything more of you either. Let the question rest there in the quiet for a moment. What are you still carrying that was never yours to carry? You don't have to answer it. You just have to loosen your grip a little. That's all tonight requires of you. Not resolution, not answers, just a little less holding on. And in that loosening, something remarkable starts to happen, a kind of exhale that doesn't come from your lungs, but from somewhere deeper, somewhere that's been braced for a long time without you even noticing. I think about how children fall asleep, not the way we do, lying there running through tomorrow's calendar, replaying today's conversations. Children just stop, mid-sentence sometimes. They trust that someone else is watching the door, so they don't have to. Somewhere along the way, most of us stopped trusting that. We decided the door was ours to watch, ours alone. And so even in the dark, some part of us stays a little bit awake, a little bit on guard, because who else is going to do it if not us? I want to gently push back on that tonight. You care because you love the people and the life you're responsible for. That's not a flaw, that's devotion. But devotion was never meant to mean carrying it every hour of every day, including the hours meant for rest. There's an old picture that comes to mind. A father sitting by a bedside long after his child has fallen asleep. Not because the child needs watching anymore, but because he wants to be near a little while longer. That's closer to what tonight is. God isn't hovering over you because he's worried you'll fail without him. He's near because he wants to be, because you're his, and that alone is reason enough. So here's another way to sit with that question. What are you still carrying that was never yours to carry? Maybe it's someone else's happiness. Maybe it's an outcome that hasn't happened yet and might not happen the way you fear. Maybe it's an old version of failure that keeps finding new reasons to visit you at night, even years after the moment itself has passed. Whatever it is, imagine setting it down, not throwing it away, just setting it down the way you'd set down a heavy bag after a long walk, flexing your fingers, feeling the ache ease out of your shoulders. You were not built to carry everything forever. No one was, not even the strongest man you know. There is a difference between being capable and being required to use every ounce of that capability every single hour you're awake. Tonight, in this quiet, you don't have to be capable. You just have to be still. Let the field be finished. Let the day be finished. Let the question rest without an answer, and let your grip loosen just a little more than it was 5 minutes ago. You can lay it down now. Let's pray together now. Not with your hands folded tight, not with your mind racing to find the right words, just as you are, lying there, tired, honest. That's all prayer has ever really asked of us. Father, I come to you tonight the way I am, not the way I wish I were, tired in places I don't always say out loud, carrying things I've gotten so used to carrying that I forget they have weight until a night like this one, when everything finally gets quiet enough for me to feel it. Thank you for this day, even the parts of it I'd rather forget, even the moments I wasn't my best self, the words I wish I'd chosen differently, the patience that ran out sooner than I wanted it to. Thank you that your love for me was never based on how well I performed today. It was steady before I woke up this morning, and it's steady now. Even though I'm tired and worn and not entirely sure I did enough, Lord, I lay this day down at your feet, all of it. The parts that went well and the parts that didn't. The conversations I keep replaying. The worry that keeps circling back no matter how many times I tell it to be still. I don't have the strength to keep holding it tonight, and I don't think you ever asked me to. You said your yoke is easy and your burden is light. Tonight I want to believe that. Not just recite it, believe it. Help me set down what was never mine to carry in the first place. Help me trust that you are already at work in the things I can't fix, the people I can't control, the outcomes I keep trying to secure through sheer worry, as if worrying ever once made anything better. I think about how many nights I've spent awake, running through scenarios that never happened, rehearsing conversations I never had, bracing for things that never came. Forgive me for the nights I forgot that you were already standing guard, that I never had to do it alone, that my staying awake never once made me safer, it only made me more tired. Tonight, I choose to trust you with what tomorrow holds. Not because I have it all figured out, not because the outcome is certain, but because you have never once failed to be present with me, even in the nights I doubted you were there at all. Quiet my mind, Lord. You know how it works, how it likes to open one drawer after another the moment the lights go off, pulling out old worries just to make sure I haven't forgotten them. Close those drawers gently tonight. Let my thoughts settle the way dust settles after a long day of being stirred up. Let there be stillness where there has been static. I ask for peace that doesn't depend on my circumstances being resolved first, the peace that passes understanding, because it was never meant to make sense. It was meant to hold me even when nothing else does. Let that peace sit on my chest tonight instead of the weight that's been there. Let it be the last thing I feel before sleep takes me, and the first thing I feel when morning comes. Watch over the people I love while I rest. You know their names before I even say them. You know what they're carrying too. Some of it I don't even know about. Hold them the way you're holding me right now. Let my sleep be no obstacle to your care for them. You never sleep. You never grow tired. And tonight, I'm grateful that my rest doesn't put anyone I love at risk. Because you are already awake and already watching. And Lord, for the ones who are awake right now instead of me, the ones lying somewhere in the dark with their own version of tonight's weight, I ask that you'd meet them too. You are not confined to this one room, this one prayer, this one tired heart. Multiply this peace tonight. Let it reach every person who needs it, in every house, in every quiet room where someone is waiting for rest that hasn't come yet. Forgive me for the moments I tried to be my own protector, my own provider, my own peace. Forgive me for forgetting, even for a few hours, that I was never meant to carry the whole weight of my life by myself. You have carried nations. You can certainly carry one tired heart tonight. I think of all the nights before this one, nights I don't even remember. Nights you carried me through without my ever noticing the weight you were bearing on my behalf. I want to thank you for those too. For the mornings I woke up and simply assumed I'd made it through on my own strength, when really it was yours the whole time. quietly holding the walls up around me while I slept. Lord, teach me to rest the way you rested. Not out of exhaustion, but out of trust. You looked at what you had made and called it good, and then you rested, not because the work demanded it, but because rest itself was part of the design. If you, who needed nothing, chose to rest, then surely I, who need everything, am allowed to rest too. Help me remember that my worth was never measured in how much I accomplished before my head hit the pillow. You don't love me more on the days I check every box, and you don't love me less on the days I barely make it through. That kind of love is hard for me to fully grasp some nights. Lord, so tonight, just let me feel it, even if I can't fully explain it. Give me the kind of sleep that heals, not just the body, but the parts of me that get worn down in ways I don't always notice until I finally slow down enough to feel them. Restore what today took from me. Renew what tomorrow will need from me. And in between now and then, let me simply rest in who you are, not in what I have to do next. I release my grip now, Lord, on tomorrow, on the things I cannot control, on the version of myself I think I should be by now. I release it all into hands far more capable than mine, and I ask only for enough peace to close my eyes and trust that you'll still be here when I open them. Thank you for loving me on the ordinary nights, not just the hard ones. Thank you for meeting me here, in the quiet, without me having to say all the right words. You already know what I meant to say. You already know what I need. In Jesus' name, amen. You can lay it down now. He's already holding it. Close your eyes now, if they aren't already closed. Let me paint you a picture, not to think about, just to rest inside of. Picture a small house at the edge of a quiet town. The kind of house with a porch that creaks in just one spot. The spot everyone learns to step around without thinking. The kind of house that's held more suppers and more silences than anyone remembers, and somehow made room for both. It's late. Later than either clock hands or habit usually allow. But tonight, there's no reason to hurry toward morning. Inside, a single lamp is still burning in the front room, its light spilling soft and amber across the wooden floor, catching the edge of a worn armchair, the corner of a rug that's faded exactly the way things fade when they're used well and loved long. Outside, rain has just begun, not the kind that pounds and startles, but the kind that arrives gently, almost apologetically, tapping against the window glass like it's asking permission before it settles in for the night. You can hear it on the tin roof of the porch, a soft percussion with no rhythm to follow. Just steady, unhurried sound, the kind that makes a room feel smaller and safer all at once. Somewhere down the hall, a door is cracked open just enough to let a thin line of hallway light fall across the floor. The house is quiet in the way houses get quiet, only very late, not empty, just resting. Everyone under this roof has finally stopped moving. The dishes are done, or good enough. The lights that matter are the only ones still on. There's a chair by the window, angled just slightly toward the glass. And if you were to sit in it now, you'd feel the coolness radiating gently off the pane. The kind of cool that doesn't ask you to move, only to notice it. Beyond the glass, the yard has gone soft and shapeless in the dark. Fence posts and fruit trees reduced to quiet silhouettes, patient shapes waiting for morning to give them their edges back. Further out, past where the porch light fades into nothing. The fields stretch flat and still beneath a sky that's finally clearing. A few stars are beginning to show themselves through the last of the drifting clouds, faint and unhurried, in no rush to prove they're there. They don't need to be noticed to keep shining. They just do, the way certain kinds of faithfulness do quietly, without asking for applause. The rain slows, not stops, just slows, the way a held breath slows before it finally releases. And in that softening, there's a stillness that settles over everything. The kind you can almost feel pressing gently against your chest, asking nothing of you except to receive it. Somewhere in that house, someone has already fallen asleep mid-thought, a book still open on their lap, glasses slipped slightly down the bridge of their nose. No one wakes them, no one needs to. The night has a way of finishing what the day left undone, quietly, without permission, without announcement. This is the kind of night that doesn't ask anything of you. It doesn't need your productivity, your planning, your problem solving. It only asks that you be present in it, the way the chair is present, the way the rain is present, the way the fields are present beneath a sky slowly clearing itself of everything it was carrying. Let yourself be here, in this house that isn't yours but somehow feels like it could be. Let the lamp burn low. Let the rain keep tapping its unhurried rhythm against the glass. Let the stars keep appearing one by one, patient and certain, needing nothing from you but your quiet attention if you have any left to give. And if you don't, that's all right too. The night doesn't require your attention to keep unfolding. It was never depending on you to hold it together. It simply is, the way peace simply is, waiting there quietly for you to stop long enough to notice it was never far away. Let your breathing slow, the way the rain has slowed. Let your body settle, the way the house has settled. There is nothing left to do tonight. There is nowhere left to be. Only this, the lamp, the rain, the fields, the stars, and the quiet, patient dark that holds it all so gently. Picture the kitchen now, just off the front room, dim except for the faint glow of a nightlight near the stove, the kind left on out of habit more than necessity. A small comfort against the larger dark. A kettle sits cooling on the back burner, its work for the day finished. A dish towel hangs folded over the oven handle, still slightly damp, the last evidence of a day that asked a lot and got most of it. On the counter, a single coffee cup waits, rinsed and turned upside down to dry, already set out for whoever wakes first tomorrow. There's something quietly hopeful about that. A cup left ready before the morning it's meant for has even arrived. It doesn't know what tomorrow holds. It's just trusting there will be one. Back in the front room, the lamp flickers, ever so slightly, the way old lamps do, not from weakness but from age, the same way a person might sigh contentedly rather than wearily. Its light catches dust drifting slow and unhurried through the air. Tiny specks moving in patterns too gentle to follow, like the room itself is breathing. Outside, the rain has nearly stopped now, reduced to the occasional drop falling from the eaves, striking the porch boards below with a soft, irregular rhythm, plink, then a pause, then another, like a clock that has stopped worrying about keeping time. The stars are fuller now, scattered generously across a sky that has fully cleared, indifferent to the hour, patient the way only distant things can afford to be. A dog somewhere down the road barks once, low and half-hearted, more out of habit than alarm, then falls quiet again, settling back into whatever warm corner it calls its own. Even the animals know tonight isn't a night for vigilance. It's a night for rest. This house, this rain, this slow-clearing sky, none of it is asking to be understood. It's only asking to be felt, the way warmth is felt before it's explained, the way peace arrives before you can name what changed. You can lay it down now. Let's rest in His word for a while now. Slowly, There's no need to rush through scripture the way we rush through everything else. Let each verse land the way rain lands, one drop, then a pause, then another. Psalm 4, verse 8. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep, for thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. Read that again in your heart. Not the whole verse, just the first part. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep. That was written by a man who knew what it meant to be hunted, to be afraid, to have real enemies and real reasons to stay awake. And still, he wrote those words. Not because his troubles disappeared, but because he trusted something steadier than his troubles. David wrote that psalm in the middle of real danger, real betrayal, a real crisis that would have kept most of us pacing the floor until sunrise. And yet the words that survived him, the words we still read tonight, thousands of years later, are words of rest, not words of panic. That tells you something about where real peace comes from. It was never about the absence of trouble. It was about the presence of trust. You can lay it down now, the same way he did. Not because everything is resolved, because someone greater than your circumstances is keeping watch. Let's sit with another one. Psalm 3, verse 5. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for the Lord sustained me. Notice the simplicity of that verse. No elaborate plan, no formula for peace. Just, I laid me down and slept. It's almost startling how ordinary it sounds, and yet how rare that kind of rest has become for so many of us. We've made peace complicated. God never did. I awaked. He didn't just sleep. He woke up, too, on the other side of the night, still held, still sustained, exactly the way he was when he closed his eyes. That's the promise for you tonight as well. Whatever tomorrow holds, you don't have to solve it before you sleep. You only have to trust the one who sustains you through the dark. There's something worth noticing in the order of that verse. He didn't say, I solved my problems and then I slept. He didn't say, I stopped being afraid and then I slept. He simply laid down in the middle of whatever he was facing and let sleep come because he trusted the one who never sleeps to stand watch in his place. That trust wasn't the absence of danger, it was the presence of someone bigger than the danger. Let's move to another passage now, one many of you already carry close to your heart. Psalm 23, verses 1 through 3. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He maketh me to lie down. Not merely allows, not simply permits, if you insist on asking. Maketh an active, gentle insistence, the way a good shepherd guides a weary, stubborn sheep toward rest it doesn't yet know it needs. Some of us need to be led toward stillness because, left on our own, we'd keep walking long after our strength has run out, beside the still waters, not the rushing river, not the current that pulls and hurries. Still waters, the kind that reflect rather than churn, the kind that let you finally see your own reflection because everything has stopped moving long enough to show it to you. He restoreth my soul, not just your body, not just tonight's exhaustion, your soul, the deeper, quieter part of you that gets neglected in the noise of every ordinary day, the part that needs restoring far more often than we ever make time for. Let him restore that part of you tonight, even the parts you haven't checked on in a while. One more, and then we'll let this rest. Psalm 55, verse 22. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Cast, not set down gently, not quietly place aside. Cast, like something thrown with real intention, real release, The kind of throw that doesn't look back to see where it landed because it trusts the one catching it. Whatever you've been carrying tonight, the worry, the ache, the unfinished conversation, the fear you haven't said out loud to anyone, cast it. Not tomorrow, now, tonight. He shall sustain thee, not might, not could, if you do everything right. Shall, it's a promise, not a possibility. Let's close with one final passage, quiet and simple. Psalm 34, verse 4. I sought the Lord, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. All my fears. Not most, not the manageable ones. All of them, the reasonable fears, and the ones that don't quite make sense, even to you. The fears about tomorrow, and the fears that go back years, decades even. He hears them all, and he delivers from them all, in his timing, in his way. I want you to notice something about that verse too. It doesn't say the fears never came. It says they were dealt with. Fear is not a sign that your faith has failed. Fear is simply part of being human in a world that gives us plenty of reasons to feel it. What matters is not whether fear shows up at your door tonight. It's who you hand it to once it does. Tonight, you don't have to carry those fears into your sleep. Let them stay here, at the feet of these words, held by a God who has never once dropped what was given to him in trust. There's a quiet kind of courage in simply choosing to rest when your mind wants to keep working. It's not denial. It's not pretending everything is fine. It's a deeper trust, the kind that says, I have done what I can do today. And now I release the rest into hands that never grow tired, never lose track of what matters, and never once forget the ones they love. Let these words settle over you now, the way evening settles over a field once the sun has fully gone down. There's nothing left to prove tonight, nothing left to defend. Only this, his word, spoken slowly, meant to hold you until morning. Breathe in slowly. You can lay it down now. Breathe out. He is keeping watch, so you don't have to. Let's be quiet together for a while now. No more words to think through. No more verses to unpack. Just this, the sound of your own breathing, slow and steady, the only thing you need to notice right now. In and out. There's nothing to solve in this silence. Nothing to prepare for. Nothing waiting on the other side of it that needs your attention before you're allowed to rest, in and out. Feel the weight of your body where it rests, the mattress beneath you, the blanket settled over you, every muscle a little heavier than it was a few minutes ago, a little more willing to let go, in and out. If a thought drifts through, let it drift. You don't have to catch it. You don't have to follow it anywhere. Just let it pass, the way a cloud passes without asking the sky to do anything about it. In and out. There's no performance in this silence. No right way to sit in it. No wrong way either. You could be lying on your back, or curled on your side, or however your body has settled tonight. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're here, breathing, alive, resting. This is not a silence you have to fill. It never was. It's a silence that's already full, full of presence, full of peace, full of everything you didn't have words for tonight, in and out. Somewhere beyond this room, the night continues on its own, patient and unhurried, asking nothing of you. Stars keep their slow places in the sky. The wind moves through trees you'll never see. All of it continues, faithfully, whether you're awake to notice or not, in and out. You don't need to do anything else right now. Not think, not fix, not plan. Just be here, in this quiet, held in and out. Let your shoulders drop a little further. Let your jaw unclench if it's been holding tension without you realizing. Let your hands go soft, open, no longer gripping anything, in and out. There is a kind of rest that only comes in silence, like this. Not the rest of sleep yet, but the rest that comes before it, the settling that makes real sleep possible. Let it come, there's no rush, in and out. Somewhere, this same quiet is settling over other rooms too. Other people, other tired hearts, finally allowing themselves to stop. You're not alone in this stillness, even though it feels like just you and the dark, in and out. Just a little longer now. Let the stillness hold you the way it was always meant to. Let me speak softly to you now, not as a teacher, not as someone with answers to every question you've carried tonight, just as a voice beside you in the dark, saying the things your heart needs to hear before it can finally rest. You did enough today. I know it doesn't always feel that way. I know the list in your head keeps growing even now, even here, even in the quiet. But you showed up. You tried. You carried what was yours to carry, and some things that weren't even yours, and you're still here. That's enough. You are allowed to rest without earning it first. Rest was never a reward for good behavior. It was never something you had to unlock through enough effort, enough productivity, enough proof that you deserved it. It was given to you the same way breath was given to you freely, before you did anything to deserve either one. You are not behind. I know it feels that way sometimes, like everyone else figured out something you missed, like there's a version of your life you were supposed to have by now, and somehow you took a wrong turn somewhere along the way. But there is no schedule you're failing to keep. There is only your life, unfolding exactly the way it's unfolding, held by a God who has never once been surprised by your timeline. You are loved on the ordinary days too, not just the days you feel close to Him, not just the days you prayed enough, read enough, believed enough. The ordinary days, the tired ones, the forgetful ones, the ones where you barely thought about Him at all. He was still there, still loving you the exact same amount. Your worth was never up for debate, not in His eyes. People might weigh you by what you produce, what you accomplish, how useful you were today. God has never measured you that way. You were valuable before you did a single thing to prove it. And you'll be valuable long after you've forgotten why you ever doubted it. That value was settled before you were born, and nothing you did today changed it, and nothing you fail to do tomorrow will change it either. It's okay to not have it all figured out. Some of the wisest, most faithful people who ever lived spent years without clear answers. Uncertainty is not the opposite of faith. Sometimes it's the very place faith grows the deepest, in the soil of not knowing, trusting anyway. You are safe right now. In this exact moment, lying here, nothing is required of you. No decision to make. No crisis to manage. Just this safety, stillness, the simple fact of being alive and cared for in the dark. You don't have to hold it together for anyone tonight. Not for your family, not for your co-workers, not even for yourself. Let your face soften, let your shoulders drop. No one is watching you fall apart a little in the quiet, and even if they were, it wouldn't matter. This is a safe place to simply be human. Your past does not define what God is doing in you now. Whatever mistakes you're still carrying, whatever regrets visit you some nights more than others, they do not have the final word. He is not finished with you. He was never going to let one chapter, however painful, become the whole story. You are stronger than you believe, and more loved than you feel. Both of those things are true at once. You've survived every single one of your hardest days so far, every one of them, without exception, and through all of it, He never stopped holding you, even in the moments you couldn't feel His hand. Tomorrow will still be there when you wake. You don't have to solve it tonight. You don't have to plan every hour of it before you close your eyes. Tomorrow will come in its own time, with its own grace, with enough strength given exactly when you need it, not a moment before. You are not alone in this house tonight, even if no one else is in the room with you. Even if the silence feels heavy sometimes, there is a presence here that never leaves, never grows distant, never forgets you exist. You are being watched over, right now, in this very moment. You are allowed to grieve what didn't go the way you hoped. Not every disappointment needs to be reframed into a lesson right away. Some things just hurt, and that's all right. God is not asking you to pretend tonight went perfectly, or that this season of your life has been easy. He's simply asking you to bring the disappointment to Him, honestly, the way you'd hand something heavy to someone stronger than you. You are not the sum of your worst moments. Everyone has them. The words said in anger, the choices made in fear, the years that didn't look the way you planned. Those moments happened, but they are not the whole of who you are. You are also every kind thing you've ever done, every quiet sacrifice no one saw, every time you chose love, even when it cost you something. It's all right to need help sometimes. You've spent so long being the one others lean on, the one with the answers, the plan, the steady hand. But even the strongest oak needs rain. Even the deepest well needs to be refilled. Needing help isn't weakness, it's simply being human, made to depend on more than yourself. You can stop performing now. There is no audience left tonight. No one to impress. No one to convince. Just you, exactly as you are, and a God who already knows every part of you and stays anyway. You are not too much, and you are not too little. You are exactly the amount of person you were made to be. Not too sensitive, not too tired, not too far behind. Just you, whole and human, held by someone who designed every part of you on purpose. It is enough to simply be here, not accomplishing, not producing, not even praying the right words. Simply here, breathing, resting, letting the day finally end the way it was always supposed to. You can lay it down now, all of it. The weight, the worry, the version of yourself you thought you had to be today. Lay it down and let sleep come the way it comes to someone who finally, truly trusts they are safe. Good night. You are seen, you are loved, and you are held. We're near the end now. Not the end of anything that matters, just the end of these words, these verses, this hour we've spent together in the quiet. The rest, the real rest, is only just beginning for you. Think back to where we started tonight, that moment right before sleep, when the day finally hands you its bill. When everything you've been holding all day suddenly gets heavy enough to feel. I told you then that you were allowed to rest. I hope by now you believe it a little more than you did an hour ago. And if you don't yet, that's alright too. Belief doesn't always arrive on schedule. Sometimes it comes slowly, one quiet night at a time, one small act of trust at a time, until one day you realize you've been carrying it all along without even noticing when it took root. We asked a question early on: what are you still carrying that was never yours to carry? I don't know if you found the full answer. You may not need to. Sometimes the question itself is enough to loosen the grip, and the answer arrives quietly, days later, in a moment you least expect it. We prayed together, honestly, without pretending the day went better than it did. We pictured a house at the edge of a quiet town, rain on the roof, a lamp burning low, because sometimes peace is easier to feel than to explain, and a picture can hold what words can't quite reach. We sat in his word for a while, David's words, written in real danger, and yet full of real peace. I laid me down and slept. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep. Cast thy burden upon the Lord. He heard me and delivered me from all my fears. Those aren't just ancient words on a page. They were true for a man running for his life thousands of years ago. And they're just as true for you tonight, in whatever your own version of running has looked like today. Let those words keep echoing gently as you drift, long after this video has ended. We sat in silence too, just breathing, just being, without needing to fill the space with anything at all. And then we spoke truths meant only for you, that you did enough today, that you are safe right now, that your worth was never up for debate, that you can stop performing because there's no one left to perform for tonight. All of it comes back to the same simple invitation. You can lay it down now. The worry about tomorrow, the conversation you keep replaying, the version of yourself you think you should be by now, the weight that isn't even yours to carry. Lay it down gently, the way you'd set something fragile onto a soft surface, trusting it will still be there, or trusting it simply won't matter as much when morning comes. I think about all the nights people have spent exactly where you are right now, tired, worn thin by a day that asked more than it gave back, wondering if rest was even still possible for someone carrying what they're carrying. And every single one of those nights, the same offer was extended. Not earned, not conditional, just offered freely, the way it's being offered to you tonight. You don't have to have your faith all figured out for this to be true. You don't have to have prayed the right words, or felt the right feelings, or arrived at some spiritual finish line before you're allowed access to this rest. It was never behind a locked door. It was always this close, this available, waiting quietly for you to simply stop long enough to receive it. Tomorrow will ask things of you again. It always does. There will be decisions to make, people to care for, a version of yourself the world expects you to keep showing up as. But tomorrow is not tonight. Tonight only asks one thing of you, and it's the easiest thing in the world to give, even though it so rarely feels that way. Just rest. You are not alone tonight. Whatever room you're in, whatever thoughts are still drifting through your mind as sleep finally starts to take hold, know this: a God who never sleeps is watching over you, has always been watching over you, and isn't going anywhere while you rest. He was watching over you before this video began, and he'll be watching over you long after it ends. May God bless your night with peace, with rest, and with the quiet assurance that He is holding everything you couldn't hold yourself today. May your sleep be deep and undisturbed, and may you wake tomorrow lighter than you feel right now, carrying just a little less than you carried when this video began. You can lay it down now. Good night, and God bless.